All right. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you today. Yes, it is Women's Week. Don't be confused. Like, what's up with the arrangement? It's going to be an amazing show. I mean, being our last show this year until next year, we promise you an amazing, amazing show. And like someone said, that love and compassion are necessities and not luxury. And without them, humanity cannot survive. And today's show, we have one amazing woman who went against all odds to make sure that she takes care of the elderly. And she actually calls herself a professional beggar. So stick around and find out why she actually calls herself that. Plus, if you have any question, the number is 211-44. Or if you have anything for her, like you need to send her a message and just say thank you for what you are doing, because she's actually doing what most of us cannot probably do, because we're too busy or we don't really have the passion for that. So stick around and find out what we're talking about. Welcome on board. My name is Winnie Lubembe. But before you meet her, Evelyn, feels kind of new, yeah? You're seated on the end and I'm seated here.
A bit
but
weird.
It's okay, I don't mind. I don't mind the seat today.
But I know we are going to get used to it before the show ends, because we're looking forward for this amazing, amazing show. And it's on a Friday. And, you know, we have to be hyped up.
Okay.
And we have amazing people also to come on board.
Oh, yeah, we're going to sing and
entertain
dance.
us a little bit. Yeah, so welcome to the show. I'm Evelyn Apondi. So excited, looking forward for this morning's show. And, you know, without much ado, we want to introduce you to one beautiful lady. You know, Winnie has talked about her. She's Joyce Wanjiku, the founder and executive director of Purity for Elderly Care Foundation. And we're so glad. She's just an amazing, amazing woman. We were laughing all through. And yeah, we just wanted to meet her. She's here. And she also has a trademark. I just had to ask about that.
Oh, yeah. And I think I'm going to adopt that. But don't worry, I'm not stealing it from you. I'll just, you know, just copy for once.
Okay.
Yeah. But good morning.
Good morning.
We're so humbled and honored to have you with us. You know, we've been looking for you for some time, yeah? And just watching you on you know, other platforms. Right. But today you're here with us. And we're so excited to have you. And first of all, before you even say your name, you know, you said that you are a professional beggar. Yes. And you're proud of that.
Yes, for the right cause.
For the right cause. All right, so just say hi to the lovely people
you
know, watching us back at home.
Okay, good morning. Thank you very much for having me. I truly appreciate it, and really it's an honor. I'm Joyce Wanjiku Kairu. Yes, I am the founder of Purity Elderly Care Foundation. And Purity Elderly Care Foundation is a non-government organization registered in 2011 by myself. And Purity is the name of my late mother, who succumbed to cancer of the colon in 2010. While I was too busy gallivanting the world, doing all, you know, sorts of things, good thing. And eventually, after her demise, I discovered that I was not there for my mom. And although she had the, you know, she had the money, she had the drivers, she had all that, she needed me, not the others. I'm talking about me. She needed me to take care of her. She needed me to tell her it's okay, it's going to be okay. She needed me to see. But although when she passed on, I was with her. On the day, it was 1:38 on 3rd of June, 2010. And on that day, I came 4 days before her demise. I worked in South Africa as a project manager, you know, living that kind of life. But what I found myself doing is to go watch rugby, go to the States for sabbaticals, do things. But I did not find myself taking care of my mom. And I knew all through she had cancer, and she had reached a point where it had metastasized. So she was going to, I knew she was going to go at some point. And however, I did promise her before she went that I would be with her on my birthday. And on that day, on 30th of May of 2010, she did wish me happy birthday. Yes, and that's how, that's the person that behind Purity. That's the name Purity. But Joyce is my name. Yes.
Okay. And Purity Elderly Care Foundation, like you said, you actually started it in honor of your mom. And, you know, it got to a point where you felt like you didn't do enough for her. And I think that is, we can all relate. Most of the time we're too busy engrossed in our jobs. We don't even have time to just even call home and say, hey, how are you doing? How is everybody at home? Because we're too busy. And getting from what you're saying is life is more than that. It's more than you having a job. It's more than you being so busy, wherever you are, you know, working and forgetting your family. It's more to that. Now, you decided to quit your job in South Africa and came back home and decided to start the foundation. Let's start from there.
Let me tell you something. Before I quit my job, I remember I went to my bosses and they took me for counseling, to a shrink to ask, is this woman sick? What's going on with you? And But one morning I was jogging. That one I have to tell you is that that's when I knew it was a call. And a fellow jogger was hit by a car, a young girl, and she died on the spot. I was the main. I reported to the police and the radio stations to ensure that the road is blocked. You know, South Africa is just one place where you can not just drive where there's an accident or death. And when I got home, I slept and I woke up in the morning later, like 3 hours later. It was in the morning. And I had a voice ask me, if it was you who was hit by that car, have you done what I called you to do? Okay. That's when it dawned on me, and I was like, gee, elderly.
This is a call.
This is a call. And seriously, that's when I was like, I'm done. And I'm going back. I'm going to help the elderly. So I started in South Africa. It didn't work. The same voice told me, Kenya.
You need to go back home.
It didn't work. So I was like, okay, I also Mwega, Nyeri, Matope, gumboots. I was like, no, God, seriously, you're joking.
And how were you able to transition? Because I mean, coming from a very well-paying job, of course, you had a car, you had a very nice home, to Nyeri, where you have to walk, and like you said, Matope yote and all that. How did you?
You know, driving those cars, you know, I was like, you know.
Umefika.
Reached.
Very nice, comfortable life.
Comfortable life, and then you're like, you know. But when it's a call, you know it. I had to put everything down. I had to pack my things. I sent some to Kenya, and the others I donated to Rivers Foundation Church, Rivers Church in South Africa. I donated my beds. I donated everything else, washing machines. Now I do that. You do
your laundry with your hands. Okay.
And I have a car, and that car is my legs.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I use. And that transition is that everything that I do, that I feel God in it. I feel that power telling me, you know, I'm not going to let you down. I don't go like, there is that spirit that tells me, you're not going to lack. And I don't. My elderly people, they don't lack. Yesterday we went to see an old person, her name is Beatrice, and I didn't have money. But when I got there, I told a friend of mine called Dan, I don't have money to go and see Beatrice. But I know I'll get money to buy her food. By the time I left, I had money and I went to see her. So that transition, it has the supernatural being. I have unprecedented favor with extraordinary possibility in my life.
And I'm eager to know, you know, the first time after your transition, and you know, you want to work with the elderly people, and you know, people will say, working with elderly people is something very challenging, and I really want to associate myself with them because wacha wakai uko. You know, they associate elderly people with young children, of course, which is true. So they need much care and help. So how did you start working with that?
Initially, I thought I was coming to open windows for them to get fresh air because you could reach. But when I got there, I found how cost phenomenal. It was so much. You find they have bed sores, you have to wash the bed sores. You find they have dirty houses, we clean their houses. And my first test, now to get back to your question, was when I went to a woman's house. Her name was Teresa Modoni. And Teresa had bed sores, and the only thing the church was doing in the area was to drop off food there and walk away. And they had they had cut the bed, the plastic bed, and a mattress. There was no mattress when we got there. So she had bed sores, woods, you know, coming out, or the maggots coming out, and that was a very fast thing that God gave me to work with. And they had droppings would go to a basin, which would be emptied, and they would lock her in her mud house, so that dogs would not go in from animals because she was rotten. And that's how it started, where I realized that it is not cleaning a house or just going to tell no person I love you. It's not it. There is more. You have to clean. You have to cut firewood. Now I have my team, Rachel and Beatrice and Sammy, who go to homes. They clean up, and I do the work of looking for support. But more or less, we also work together. It was not easy to start that. We go to different homes. They identify the cases with the chiefs and the community health workers, and then we go to those homes and do. And people die on us. Yeah, and it's not easy when you have a loved one. You know, they're my children, and when they die on us, we know it's coming. It's inevitable anyway. But you know, we will never get used to it. But that's what we do.
Okay. All right. So how many elderly are you taking care of right now? And do you, like you said, aside from Beatrice and Sammy, do you have another team that you work closely with?
We have Alice, who is in a different town. But these are volunteers. But only when we have, because remember, she is a professional beggar. And she begs for the elderly, and sometimes my people, my volunteers will also need support. So we don't have many people working for us or working with us. However, we do have some advisors who advise us on in terms of I'll call them for advice and support. Like one lady, Jacqueline Wariko of Kenya Red Cross. We have Irogonya Kera, we have Lowlands, and some other people who I talk to who are in my board, advisory board. It's a registered NGO, so we also have that legal entity. But as far as other people supporting, we are looking for partners. We want people to come and partner with us because it's not easy. We have not had any funder. We have not had any, you know, I came with a little bit of money and I thought it was going to like help everybody. When it finished, that's why I became a beggar when it shut. But we are looking for partners and we are looking for people to come and work with us, and we'll do it wholeheartedly from their, you know, from their hearts, because this is touching an old person is not easy.
It is not.
But they're like children, and they need to be loved. They need to be taken care of, and they need to demise this earth with dignity, and that is what we're lacking, and we are neglecting them.
And now that your organization, of course, it's for a good cause, do you have the government, you know, stepping in to at least support you? Because you've talked about the sponsors, Red Cross, and all that, and also the volunteers that you have. Do you have the do you have the government stepping in to at least assist you in some way?
As far as that now, no. We haven't. The government has not come in. The only thing I'll say is that sometimes we do work with the administration, where we ask them for support. They will give us food, or they did when there was relief food. That was, I think, in 2011. But we are asking for more support and more partnership from the government. However, the government is supporting a section, not directly to Purity Foundation, but the elderly. There is a cash transfer program that was introduced in 2010 of 2,000 shillings a month. There was a pilot which was 1,500. Now it is we have the cash transfer of 2,000 shillings a month. And now the government is complementing the efforts of the family. It is not a right, it's a privilege. And when the government does that, that money goes to the elderly person who is vulnerable, who is needy, not every person. I would not expect my dad to go and collect 2,000 shillings. From the government, that money can go to another vulnerable elderly person. However, the selection criteria that is there, there's a bit of nepotism which we're trying to address, and also families are trying to sometimes even take the money from the elderly person, and we feel really bad, but we are advocating and lobbying for the rights of these people.
Okay. Now, in relation to taking care of the elderly people, so sure not recently, but I think a year or 2 years back, we had cases of in Western Kenya where young boys were going and raping old women in their 80s, you know, 85 year old and all that. So at the end of the day, we ask ourselves, where did compassion go? So as far as taking care of the elderly people is concerned, probably the people will be asking, so what am I supposed to do? Say, take food to them once in a while. See, is that enough? And of course, you being in the field and getting hands-on, dealing with them directly, what would you tell you know, the society outside there to just exercise a little compassion?
Okay, first is that I would want to tell people, if you have an old person in your life, try and go to that person's home. The elderly people, aging is not a disease. I think we need to first to take that to recognize that it's not a disease. But we make them sick by leaving them alone. They're lonely by not thinking about them, by taking your phone and pestering them. They don't need that M-Pesa. They need you. Time. So they need that personal touch. They need to be told, you know, aging, mom or grandpa or grandma, we are getting old too. So that compassion, that being there, you may send M-Pesa, then you find it has reached the maximum amount.
Oh, yes.
And when the person dies, just give me that phone for Jojo. Then you find the 70,000 you sent is still there because it's not what that person needed. They need that compassion, they need love, they need dignity, reminding the society that you are getting old too. Who you were yesterday is not what you are today. So I think my take to the community is that give the elderly dignity. In fact, the Pope came with a very, because heaven is on earth. I want to see the other person as like God. And that is, those are the things that we are lacking, and we need to tell people, even as we are, as young as we are, as we age, we need to actually take care of the elderly.
We need to. It's
And
very,
each other.
very important.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by
Yes.
the way, and each other. You know, most of the time people feel like taking care of the elderly is just so much work, it's so much burden. But I like what you said. They need your touch.
Yeah.
They need you to be there and tell them it's okay. We need to take a very short break, and of course, we want to know how it has changed you.
Yeah.
Changed you as a person and changed your life as well, because like you said, you are an avid rugby fan and you would traverse the globe just to watch the matches and all that. So how did you transition, and how is your life right now? How has taking care of the elderly changed your life? Of course, we need to hear that and much more. But like we said, I mean, Joyce is the CEO of Purity Elderly Care Foundation, and she takes care of the elderly people, something that most of us don't really consider doing. So, and like she said, it's a calling. I mean, each and every person needs to take care, not only the elderly, but the person around you. So if you need to support her, or you feel that, man, I need to work with Joyce, send us an SMS on 21144, and then we'll forward it to her, and then you can get in touch and see how we can support the elderly. But for now, let's take that short break. When we come back, more on her story and, of course, more entertainment you do not want to miss. Stay with us.
It is a calling that takes knocking on as many doors to find the one door that will open. When it does, like on this day, it is a lifeline for some of the elderly in Nyeri County forced to lead lonely lives in their sunset years with no one to fend for them except Joyce Wanjiku.
We rely heavily on well wishes. I am known as a professional beggar. I walk around begging, beg for food, I beg for blankets, and supporting it's you and me so that it can help these people to live a dignified life.
We are doing this work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because we are not able to reach everywhere.
What we do as Purity Elderly Care Foundation is that we don't only feed them. We also have others who have dilapidated houses, shelters. We built for them. We have built quite a number of them right now, as it were, and we are very proud of the work that is done out there, that we have done out there.
Mary Wairimu understands all too well what it means to have a roof over her head. For years, Haz could not hold, but abandoned, she suffered in silence through the punishing situation.
Wanjiku alikuja anapata nyumba yangu napomoka, na bua ikinyesha tunafunga makonia na maratasi. Akakuja akaona mimi kuna tabu mingi sana, akasaidia mimi, akajenga nyumba, akapatia kitu ya kuweka maji. Sasa mimi naona, mimi nasema Wanjiku Mungu amsaidie.
For Joyce Wanjiku, taking care of the elderly is a personal conviction born out of a personal experience.
Purity is the name of my late mother, whom I believe I should have done more to actually, let her demise or move to be with the Lord with dignity. I was not there for her, and hence I started Purity Foundation.
Shinda yangu nilikuwa nakuisha damu kukuisha, ndio Wanjiku alikuja, kasikia mimi mgonjwa sana, kanipeleka hospitali. Kunipeleka nikakaa mwezi mzima, nikaongezwa damu. Sasa mimi mzuri sana.
Their testimonies make it worth the while for a woman whose sacrifice meant that she had to leave a budding career in South Africa to return home to care for them, a move no one could comprehend.
I went back to my employer and I was like, you send me to a shrink? They think I'm normal. Now, let me tell you, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going back to Kenya, where I'm going to take care of the elderly. Everybody thought I was crazy. Packed my bags, came to Kenya, and registered Purity Elderly Care Foundation, an organization that takes care of now the vulnerable elderly people who you have neglected, abandoned, who we have forgotten.
She compliments efforts by the government to support the elderly through the cash transfer program for older people as well as orphaned and vulnerable children. It is a program she lauds, but she is also of the opinion that more can be done to improve its effectiveness.
The institutions responsible for handling these cash transfer programs, I'm actually begging that kindly can we do it in a dignified way. We find elderly people outside the post office, more in Nyeri where I come from. They struggle there, there's like hundreds of them. They have no seats, they have no water, they have no sanitation even.
Her hope is that the graying population of the country will have someone to look after them.
I'm asking guys, don't throw your old people away. They're nice people. You're going to get old too. Don't throw them away. look after all your old people. Let it be your responsibility. Remember, you're going to get old too.
Leaving no one behind by creating a society for all is a calling Joyce Wanjiku Kairu is keen to keep alive.
Silent night, holy night, all is gone and all is bright. Round yon virgin, mother and child, holy infant, tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round yon virgin, mother and child, holy infant, tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Come early for us right here. Thank you very much. That was a lovely rendition from the usual Silent Night. Oh, you were singing along. Are you sure you were hitting the notes he was hitting? I doubt that.
I'll
All
join
right,
your
thank you very
band very
much.
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll join your band.
Wait, now you have a very interesting name that is kind of tough for us. So, what's the name of your band?
The band's name is Infallible Jazz Implosion.
Infallible Jazz Implosion. Okay. All right. And do you always just it's all about jazz for you, or
Not quite.
Okay.
Our main genre is Afro jazz.
Afro
So
jazz,
we do,
cool.
but we are quite conversant with all other genres. The name Infallible Jazz Implosion, we identify strongly to jazz music.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. So Infallible simply means beyond reproach. So the kind of music that we do, it's beyond reproach. It's music. You know, irrespective of the barriers, language, dialect, and all others of you, we tend to think that music is the one medium that can be used to reach out to all people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
So
true.
your band actually does in all dialect, like you are
Come again?
explorers.
Explorers.
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't quite
When
say
it comes to singing.
we are explorers, unless I didn't understand you correctly. but then we just do our thing. You know, music is our thing. We live music, we breathe music.
Okay.
You eat music.
All right.
Totally.
Okay. Like they say, music is actually a universal language, so you can
Totally.
communicate to anyone with music. All right. We'll have you guys perform more video. And do we have some moves where we can dance?
Yeah, come again.
Okay, can we dance?
Yeah,
I
we
think
can.
We can, yeah?
We can
All right,
dance,
okay,
yeah.
but before we get to that, Joyce,
Yes.
talking about taking care of the elderly, and like you said, I mean, of course, it has changed you a lot. Number one, the fact that you used to cruise, but now you cruise with your legs.
Yes.
Which is very much okay. Okay, so let's talk about the impact, you know, that you know, starting Purity Elderly Care Foundation has in your life.
It has actually made me be more humble. I will talk to anybody, everybody. I will go to every place. I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of anything.
You're not choosy.
I'm not choosy. You find me, the other day I found an old man in the streets and I was told he's an alcoholic ward. I took him to hospital, called an ambulance, said, guys were like, who are you? So I was like, this is who I am. So, but at the same time, as much as I've become more humble and more compassionate, I love people more, I engage more with people, I relate with now literally everybody around, and those, and I it's not without challenges. I have enemies too.
Yes.
I have those people who don't like me, but I don't see it. They're the ones who see it.
Why wouldn't anyone like you, and you're doing a very good job anyways?
I
mean,
know.
to help the people, but I mean, it's human.
It's human.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've learned to be humble and to just relate with everybody and to not see earthly things as living extravagant is no longer my thing. Where I lived in a big house and now I have, yeah, that one.
That is comfortable enough for you at the moment.
Yes,
Okay.
I can only sleep on one bed.
Okay.
Or, you know, if anything, two cups
okay.
just in case you come in, you come visit me. So
It's okay.
yeah, that's
It's
okay.
fine,
So
yeah.
I've learned to humble myself.
Yeah.
And to just love and not to live it. However, I take care of this person.
Yeah.
The most important person on this planet, as far as I'm concerned, is this one.
Yes.
Very true. Very
And
true.
this person is taken care of by her. So I do not neglect her. I do not neglect myself. Whatever I want to have, when I will have whatever I want. I do my nails. I'll go out. I hang out. So I have a social life
And you
as well.
must take care of your trademark as
Artist.
well.
And, yes, and please, this is
You
my
know?
trademark.
Yeah.
You know, what do I say? Yeah.
It's just hilarious. Okay.
So this person is very important.
Very important,
So
yeah.
that's it. Yeah. But also the secondary person is that I'd rather lack sleep because of my elderly people, my dad included, because he falls in the category of the elderly, and that's how that's me. Yeah.
Okay.
And Joyce, having that elderly people live in the
Rural,
word,
yes.
interior, interior places. How do you reach others, and do you have avenues in those places
Yeah, where
whereby
you can
people will
reach
call you and tell you like this?
Yeah,
certain
people
person?
call us now that we have. They will tell the chiefs, or people look for me, and guys will tell me who, you know, where an old person is. Last weekend, Saturday, we went to a deep place with with one of my colleagues, Beatrice, where they had gone the previous day or the Friday. They went to check this woman out. They were told about she's blind. They went to her, you know, the walking distance. So, and it's inside the interiors of Mashinani, and they're told by the chiefs or they're told by the community, and then we go there. Sometimes we walk a lot, and we get hungry. There are times, there's a very embarrassing moment, but it is not embarrassing. I'm not ashamed. Rachel and I walked from a place called Mwega town to a place called Ambon, and it's like 4 kilometers. We didn't have money. We had to go and take food to this old woman. She had no food, and we had to carry the food in our bags. On the way back, she told me, you know, my auntie lives there. So I was like, let's go and ask for food. I went there and we saw her cooking kamukimo, and I told her we are not moving out of here.
Did we eat?
Did we eat?
Okay. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. It's okay.
And when we got the food, and we ate, and we do that quite often. Sometimes, but the community does tell us where the problems.
Okay.
And even coming here, I would call my friends yesterday, called my cousin James. I was like, I need fare to go to Nairobi. But I don't need to look like I asked for fare. I need
Very
to
true. Very true.
you know? But that's the reality. That's what we go through.
Yeah.
So, I think humility is what I have. I'm a better human being than I was when I was going to watch rugby in New Zealand, when I was going to watch rugby in Pretoria, and just watch it. And I was sitting at, working for the bank. You cannot just sit with everybody.
Yeah.
You have to have your own thing. The entertainment.
Yes.
Oh God.
You
Really,
are
really
in a different
transformation.
level.
Yes. Now, and where exactly do you have like a center where let's say you've identified a case and then you bring them in, or do you go to their houses and just help them?
We go to their houses. We don't have a center. However, my prayer is that we have a nursing home.
Oh yes, for the elderly.
Not a center for the elderly. We don't want people to come and dump the old people too. I know the West is doing it. However, there's something I had forgotten. We need to tell people to invest in old age. You invest in old age, you too, and everybody. Invest in old age so that you take care of yourself when you're old. Instead of going to a center, being taken to an old people's home, you take yourself with your own money.
To a nursing home. Oh yes. So that it doesn't become like so much burden, like sasa ametusumbua. We've had cases of where people say hata huyu acha tu akufe
ati mzigo
kwa sababu anatusumbua sana. Or some of them would even just dump them and forget about them and all that. Do you have cases like that?
We do, and there are many. And people call me. I have my dad, and he's very sick. Can I bring him to you? So I was like, hello, there's a hospital.
Yeah, you can take them there.
You can take them there. Why are you dumping why should you be dumping your person? So guys, actually, the more they call me, the more I'm able to tell them what to do, and it gets into their heads. Employ a caregiver. If you can be able to bring them to me and I pay them, or you pay me to take care of them, then get a nurse and take care of them from their own space.
And after taking care of the elderly, I know some other families will come back after umeshawatengeneza wamekuwa vizuri. They come back and
claim
tell
them.
You, yeah.
Now, that's a good one. One case, we just you build a house for an old person.
Yeah.
They'll wait for that person to die very quickly.
And then
then take the house that we build. So now I've told my team, and our team, we have collectively decided we're not going to build any more house. We're going to repair.
Oh yeah, the ones
If putting cartons on the those nyanyas, that's what we're going to do. We put iron sheets, and if instead of building up fresh, this old woman, the one of Saturday, the blind woman, she has a 1 acre piece of land, beautiful with vegetables, with food, but the family is telling her, tell her to build a house, and we can see this.
And you want to take advantage.
People do try to take advantage of us, but I thank my Maker for wisdom.
And is that one of the challenges you passed through?
Yes, and also our challenges. We have we went to build to repair a house for an old woman called Zipporah, and the family and the neighbors put chili, piri, in the fire for us to
choke.
Why?
Yeah, they've even taken pangas. Some families are like, we don't want you here.
Okay.
Already they have neglected that person, and yet they don't want us there. Where I was yesterday, again, the grandson of this one 10-year-old woman, that grandson again does not want us there because he knows we are going to unpack or uncover some things. So
people feel like you're going to intrude their privacy.
Yes.
Okay.
And other people think that when we highlight these cases on TV, even on radio, that we want to make money with them, with these old people. So, and 5 years later, I don't think I've made money with anybody. All I've done is support, and I think hundreds of elderly people can stand or can come here and tell you they have had support from us. I have gone out begging. I'm online looking for support for them, and clearly challenges are there. And what do you do? If it's a calling, you carry on. If I die because of that, at least I'll die because I've left a legacy. And that's what I want to be remembered for what I did, not to be remembered for what I had.
What you had,
not because people keep saying to me, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it on on this TV channel. I don't have children of my own, but I have thousands of children.
Yes, that you are looking after.
Yes,
which is very important. I was reading in one of your interviews that you said you really felt bad that you were not there for your mom. And the best thing that you can do right now is just remember her by starting a foundation, which is a very good thing. Now, amongst the challenges, have you ever gone to beg somewhere and then you get rejected, or people think that you're just using it for your own good, people don't trust you with that, and how do you deal with it?
I have been rejected a few times. And sometimes I'm told, come tomorrow, then tomorrow you're told no, or you're told, I'll M-Pesa you, or I'll give you, or come for food in this shop, I'll call me tomorrow, or come to my supermarket. And I'll go back again. So I don't feel anything. I just go back.
Okay.
Yeah.
You persist.
I persist
to the end of the day for a good cause.
I just go back. So they keep wondering, now what's wrong with this one? I keep touching. She's back. So I just go back. And my dad is one interesting character. First, he said I was out of my mind when I came to Kenya. To do this, he told everybody, my daughter is sick. She's gone mad. She's not thinking straight. And now the other day I was with him on somewhere, and we were talking, and he says to me, no, a person comes. So I was like, give me 2K. My dad was like, oh my God.
You're embarrassing me.
Yeah. You're embarrassing me.
Okay.
And the 2K was given to me, and he just saw me walk into a supermarket, buy food, and I went to see the old woman, or one of the elderly women, Matakoine. So it has become part of me to say, give, donate. I'm on social media telling guys, please donate, do something. And I'm telling people, this festive season, give something to an old person. Children are lovely, and let's give them those toys and biscuits. But go take a torch or a lamp to an old woman.
Person.
Or a radio, smoke a radio.
For entertainment.
And for entertainment, just do something. Or, there's some solar lamps. Please, if you're listening, do something small to an elderly person this festive season, and as you do the children. But yes, to answer your question, it is true, challenges are there. And
there.
I live with them.
And that is what makes life anyways.
Yeah. Now that you have volunteers in organizations, is there criteria that you use when it comes to choosing volunteers to work with you?
The volunteers I have, Sami and Rachel have been with me since 2011. Beatrice came in 2012. Alice came, in 2013. Alice, so the criteria is humility and commitment. The biggest challenge that we have is commitment from volunteers, because if you're not committed, I'll get, I'm committed to serving. And then you find a volunteer who is not willing to serve. They are not. You have food, they are not taking the food. You have, and also they have to have the heart. We have values of the organization. Those values are Wanjiku's values. Wanjiku is me. The first one is commitment. If you do not have commitment, you cannot have excellence, which is the next one. You cannot have compassion if you're not committed. You cannot have integrity if you're not committed. You cannot have character if you have no commitment. So those are the values of the organization, and volunteer spirit. And if you do not have those, you cannot be committed. Commitment is the main, one of the main things. You have to, when you wake up in the morning, what are you waking up to do? Are you going to work? Are you going to be satisfied by touching that woman's life? Like I keep saying to my people, can you just wake up and dance with these people? Like we dance and party with them. And by the way, I hold parties for the elderly.
Oh, wow. Are we invited?
Yeah, 31st of December. Yeah, you're invited.
Okay,
we have a medical camp, mini medical camp for the elderly. And it's going to have, and guys, please come and dance with us. Bring the music. Bring it on. So yeah, we dance, we party, and then they take some goodies home. And the high table is not where an executive will come sit. The high table is that of the elderly. The tent of the elderly has to be decorated, made red carpet, and those are the people who we give compassion to and love to. So if you come thinking that you're going to find a bottle of water,
sorry,
you're not before
for the high table, not for you,
not before they get it.
Nice. Okay.
So the dais is not
yours. It's for the elderly.
And the other thing I have to tell you is that this is very interesting. We have tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Jamhuri.
Yeah.
I want you to do an observation tomorrow. Make sure you watch news. You're going to discover the high table is going to have water and soda. There will be elderly people who fought for tomorrow, for 12th of December. I mean, who fought those years ago. How many years ago? 51?
Like 51 years.
51 years ago. And the dais is the one that is going to receive water and soda. The elderly there will be left. And then the executive, I'm sorry, Mr. President, you're one of them, and other governors, it is true. The executive will drive off with their big cars. They're nice. Give me one. I wish I could have one. But with the big cars, drive to State House, drive to posh hotels and restaurants, have their meals,
buffet,
fill their food you know, and they're not going to finish. And they've left the elderly in the field. That is what happens. That is what is going to happen tomorrow. And take that to the bank. Yeah,
we need to change that.
We need to change that. We need to change, and that's what I've written to the Council of Governors, telling them, guys, please, can you do it differently?
Give them water. Yeah.
Give them water or bread or something, or don't eat. You go home, finish your sherehe, and just everybody goes home. Mr. President, go home. My governor, the other governors, just go. Don't leave these people hungry in the field. And those are the things that I'm lobbying for the elderly. The other day, I went to the Nyeri law courts, and an old woman was lifted like a sack because she was too old for succession cases. She can hardly walk, but she has to come in, sign for succession or whatever, swear in. And the law courts have no lifts. So I wrote to the law courts, I lobbied and lobbied, and now I'm proud to say they have installed lifts.
That's a very good thing. And you also won an award some years back.
Yes, last year. Yes. Last year I was given an international award for International Women's Day by Mrs. Dolores Jordan at the Intercontinental Hotel for my humanitarian work.
And that is Michael Jordan's mom.
Michael
Jordan's mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did it feel? Did it motivate you to do more for the society and for the elderly?
I was quite honored. Was very, very honored because I didn't see it coming. I never thought I would actually get any award anywhere. I thought I'm just serving humanity and serving God. That's what I thought I was doing. And I was also honored on October 1st this year, where I was given the opportunity by the Nyeri Golf Club. On International Day, in United Nations International Day for Older Persons, to take a group of elderly people to go and dine with the golfers.
That's nice.
So to me, that was an honor.
Yes.
Yes. So, and they played golf, and yeah. So.
Oh, that's nice. They play golf and all that. And I think that is a very, very huge lesson for all of us, that we do not have to really focus on money. And like anything you do, money should come in at the end of the day. Just do something nice. Just do something kind to someone, and you never know where it would take you. So that's a very, very big lesson for us. All right, now of course, like you said, being in the Christmas season, it's very important for all of us to just take time and visit the elderly. And you don't have to bring them at least huge gifts and all that. Just bring them something small. So what are you planning for them this Christmas?
What am I planning? I plan big.
Okay.
I think global, but right now I'm acting locally. That's me. So now we're going to hold a medical camp, a small for the elderly at in Nyeri town. I've just spoken to one of the doctors to change the venue because a certain organization has begged me to allow them to use the field which I had booked, and it had been waived. So I've given it to them. So we're going to use a health center in Nyeri, mini medical camp, and that party.
Wow.
And we're going to start from 9. So we are looking for drugs, medicine. We are looking for wheelchairs. We are looking for walking sticks. We are looking for food. We are looking for food. And food and drugs. We are looking for volunteers. If you're a doctor out there or a nurse and you don't come and do something and support us, please, I humbly request for your support. Just come out and help us as much as you can. Even blankets, if you want to donate a blanket. This is, we call it Wanjiku end of year party, but this time it's not just a party, it's going to come with a medical camp. We do observe international days. That's something else I need to mention. We observe World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, which is June 15 annually, and we observe United Nations International Day for Older Persons, which is October 1. And then now we have my party with my people.
With your kids, with your children. When one wants to donate, what would you advise them?
If you want to donate, they can call me. I don't hide my number.
We'll have your contacts and then give it to the people who want to donate.
Yes,
very good. Okay.
Yes. And they can also go to our social media. And they can send us stuff. Unfortunately, we are just in Moiga, in Nyeri County for now. But you can donate in Nyeri County. However, wherever you are and you want to donate and you cannot reach us and you know people you can support, please do it for me wherever you are. But in the meantime, you can send us whatever your donations you want. But please do something
to the elderly. Okay,
Mm.
we're so honored to have you. Unfortunately, we need to end the show right now. I know so fast. We wish we would have like 10 hours to just talk about taking care of the elderly. Not only the elderly, even you know, the little children. Like you see them running around, and probably they do not have a family. Take time to visit them and just take care of them, or any other person around you. So it's such an honor being with you today, and wish you all the best. And of course, we'll try our best to support you in any way that we can, so that we give them dignity at the end of the day. So thank you very much for being with us today. Now, of course, being our last show, of course, you have something to say today. It feels so sad. You know, we'll miss the seats. We'll miss the
last
you know,
show,
2015.
Time has is really flying.
Really fast.
And, we're going to approach 2016, and it has been a great year.
Been a great journey.
We had great topics, very empowering, and you know, we're just capping it all with your amazing work that you're doing in this story. Yeah, so I'd like to tell you, thank you so much for being with us all through. Yeah, it's been such an honor, such a nice feeling. And we just pray that God may bless each and every person who's been with us throughout this journey. It's a journey, right? Yeah, and looking forward for 2016 with greater shows, and you know, Joyce here will be working with her, and you'll be seeing that. Yeah.
Okay, and of course, not forgetting our very big team. That we always work together.
Don't worry, I'll help you.
Oh yes, please do. Okay, so we have our director and producer, Christine Matu. Not forgetting our programmer for the day, Joseph Moremi. We have Jen Wande on graphics, and not forgetting Titus Omune, our sound and lights engineer. Who else am I forgetting? Our camera persons. Okay, Course Gay. As always, we have Rhoda Kibeka today with us, and then Millicent. Yes, she has always been here to support us. So we need to say a very big thank you.
And
anyone else? Yes, Managi. Yes, I cannot forget to say thank you to her. Oh yeah, and Beatrice as well. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for your support always, and hoping that next year we'll also work together as a team. And of course, thank you for tuning in always and supporting us, and not forgetting our band for the day. Thank you for coming over. And as we wind up the show, of course, you're going to sing for us, and so that we can dance at least. And of course, we wish you Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year. That is 2016. Bye for now. My name is Winnie Lubambe. God bless. All right, so the band, it's your turn.